We're at the Mohammed bin Rashid Space Center in Dubai. Since 2006, it's been at the center of the country's embryonic space sector. The country has typically bold and expensive plans for space, including establishing a colony on Mars in 100 years. This is more than just planting a flag on the red planet. It's about eventually leaving the petrodollars behind and creating a new economy. Over the last 2 decades, there's been a massive shift towards investment in this region in education and innovation, the knowledge-based economy, and it seems to be paying off. Meet Salam Al-Mari. He works at the Space Center, also known as MBRSC, and is fully aware of what the knowledge-based economy is all about.
One thing that we pride ourselves on is that we want to celebrate the exporting of our last barrel of oil. And really the way we celebrate that is if we diversify our economy, if we go into a very smart economy, an economy that is based on technology, that is based on science, and is based on knowledge. And this is part of what the Mohammed bin Rashid Space Center is all about.
Here, more than 200 Emirati scientists and engineers are working on a number of big, ambitious projects. One is the development of the first locally built satellite, KhalifaSat, due to be launched into the Earth's atmosphere next year.
With the development of KhalifaSat, we are not only developing the system or the satellite system, but also building a culture that will eventually progress in the UAE of satellite development. And a lot of software development can be done in the UAE, and this is what we have started to work on with KhalifaSat. And we believe with more projects, the private sector will look at this as a profit-generating industry, and that they can also invest in and support the development of this industry also.
But their most daring project yet is to send an unmanned probe to land on Mars in 4 years' time to celebrate the United Arab Emirates' 50th anniversary.
The project is on target. Hopefully by mid-2020 we're going to be launching our mission. The spacecraft basically is going to be traveling at a very high speed. We're talking about more than 128,000 kilometers per hour. The journey is going to take 7 months till we reach Mars. So if we want to reach Mars before the 50th anniversary of the establishment of the UAE, which is basically on the 2nd of December 2021, the only opportunity we have is actually 2020.
More than $5 billion have been invested in the country's space program so far. There are plans to develop an astronaut program to train Emiratis to take missions to the International Space Center. And get this, there's also a 100-year strategy to have a community living on Mars by 2121.
Our young generation, when they see that we are able to get to Mars, that when they make their decisions of, when they're 16, 17 of what they're going to study, they're going to go towards math, science, physics, technology. I think that will mean a big success for the UAE in the next 20, 30 years, because that will really support our diversification away from oil and into high tech.
An ambitious space agenda for Dubai. Best-selling author and strategic advisor Tommy Weir sat down to share his views on Dubai's major push to go beyond trade, tourism, and services.
Pretty much everybody across the region right now is attempting to create jobs more in the knowledge space, meaning outside of manufacturing industrial revolution. I would reposition the term slightly and say we have an entrepreneurial wave coming through the region more than we do just building a knowledge economy per se.
Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid, the ruler of Dubai, seems to love stretch targets, landing the Expo 2020, Mars missions through the Space Center. That's a good thing for this society, to stretch it as much as possible?
I think it's a fantastic thing, and I would actually argue it should be replicated around the world, because what it does is it galvanizes people towards a goal. So as a leader, as a ruler here, but as a leader of a business even, if you set a stretch target way into the future, society starts to galvanize and starts to pull together, and it starts to build belief and to hope. I call his stretch targets confidence builders. Does
diversification survive an oil price of $50 to $60 a barrel? That could be the new reality. Does it push forward, or does it die as a result, particularly in the Gulf states?
I think it fuels it. I'm not sure you have much of a choice. If my revenue source dropped, I have to offset it with something. If I either offset it to where I generate new revenue and regrow my economy, or I'm going to be faced with social unrest. So we don't want social unrest. So I think it's actually going to fuel the efforts for it. It's amazing what survival orientation can make you do.
The business leaders of this region have constantly said for the last 15 years that the education system, primary and secondary school education systems, not keeping pace with the global knowledge-based economy.
Our bigger gap is actually at the university level. We don't have the global premier thinking in education. So we still go outside and we jump out to go learn something to attempt to bring it back. We need to move to the area to where we're building a premier institution, and if we really want to be a knowledge economy, we need to start creating the knowledge, not importing the knowledge.